There's a place where the quick are rewarded and the timid punished. This is no place for the weak at heart. At 120 miles per hour, no quarter is asked, no quarter given. Mistakes have consequences, and the brave reap the rewards. Your skill is prized, luck is welcome, but to be first, you have to finish. Welcome to Rally America.
Welcome to the 2014 Susquehannock Trail Performance Rally, also known as STPR. This was voted last year's Rally of the Year, partially because between the densely wooded areas and the Grand Canyon of the East behind me, these stages are unforgiving at best, but mostly because fans come out in droves to watch their favorite drivers navigate this beautiful northern Pennsylvania countryside. This is the fourth stop of the Rally America National Championship Series.
The fourth round of the Rally America National Championship brings us to Wellsboro, Pennsylvania for the Susquehannock Trail Performance Rally, or STPR for short.
One of the oldest rallies in the series, the roads here are fast but very tight and technical. With large trees growing right to the road's edge, it has claimed more than its fair share of cars.
This is David Higgins. This is the GoPro course overview.
The race this weekend will cover 119 miles broken into 16 sections of public road called stages.
In addition to some great technical driving, one of the most unique things about STPR is it's the only event with a super special stage where the cars actually race wheel to wheel. A great show for the fans.
This rally is pretty unique. The first day we do here, we have the waste management stage, which is like a super twisty stage, unlike any other stage in the characters we have in the USA. Very, very narrow, very twisty, very slow average speeds, and it gets pretty rough. This year they've built like a real big jump into there, which I'm sure is going to be great fun, and can't wait to go and do that. And then the waste management again in reverse, which is always like super rough, big rocks everywhere, very, very easy to have a problem. I know that for a fact because the last 2 years we've either DNF'd or had a problem in there. And then we come back to the showground here where we have the head-to-head super special, which can be anything. You know, if the rain comes down, it can be real slick and very difficult, or it can be dry and dusty where you can't see anything. It's always good fun for the fan, but it's not really the most enjoyable because you really can't see what's going on in there. Then we go on to day two, which is really, really difficult stages, super fast, very, very flowing in general. But the hardest thing about the second day is it's so hard to read the road because when you're so close to the tree, so close to the road, it's very, very difficult to read what the corner is, so you've got to rely on your pace notes probably more on this rally than anyone else on the circuit. It's probably the hardest rally we do, but it's also great fun if you get it right.
David Higgins will be going out first on the road today. Let's go to AJ at Park Expose to check in.
Thanks, Paul. So, David, STPR presents a few challenges. What's your plan of attack?
Yeah, it's probably one of the toughest rallies we do of the season, really. You know, it's one of the oldest rallies in the calendar, and it presents itself as one of the biggest challenges still. So we're going to come here and have to try and go at our A game just to make sure we can get through it in one piece.
Speaking of making it through in one piece, going out just behind David is Adam Yeoman, who, not having completed the event in the past 3 attempts, is likely happy about the advantage going second will give him.
Here with Adam Yeoman, you are going out second, right behind Higgins. So how do you see that helping you this weekend?
It's good. I like going out behind the fast guys to see their braking points, and so, yeah, it's better than being the rabbit for sure.
Starting the event in third is Dylan Van Way, who currently leads the super production class.
So let's talk with Dylan for a minute about the competition with Nick. He is back. So how do you see that playing out?
I mean, it's the way it's going to be at every round this year. I think it's just everybody's so close and everybody's going so fast that, you know, you can't put your guard down for 1 second. Everybody's charging the whole time, and it's really made the SP class very interesting. I think, hopefully to watch. It's definitely interesting to be in it, and I think it'll be a good fight all the way to the end. Currently in third in the SP class is Nick Roberts, who is returning with a new car less than 4 weeks after his car burned to the ground at the Oregon Trail Rally.
So, Nick, about halfway through the season, what is your plan of attack to gain some ground in the SP class?
Well, I think we're going to work really hard this weekend. You know, we lost the lead to the championship to Dylan after Oregon, so we got a little ground to make up, but we're going to have fun.
Leading the pack in the two-wheel drive class today is Andrew Comrie-Picard in his newly built Ford Fiesta ST. Let's see what his hopes are.
So ACP, what's the strategy for STPR? A challenging course.
Yeah, the strategy for STPR, I mean, we're leading two-wheel drive in the championship, and we think we can win two-wheel drive here. We have a lot of great competitors here. Will Hudson in another Ford Fiesta is going to give us the gears from where he's at just behind us. But we're close enough to the front overall, and we have some upgrades with the new Ford Fiesta ST with Tim O'Neill. I think that we might be able to push for the overall podium, so we're going to watch for it. Today we'll be at a little bit of a disadvantage, but tomorrow we may be able to push hard. So we're here to race, and I'm here to win two-wheel drive and see how well we can do overall.
Great, good luck.
With Ken Block pulling out of the event at the last minute due to a bad crash in the first round of the Red Bull Rallycross Series, and Travis Pastrana tied up with other commitments, David Higgins' focus this weekend will be to keep it clean and finish the race with no major issues.
That's right. David had some problems that put him out of the event on the first day last year. He'll certainly be looking not to repeat that this year and go home with a win.
Let's go to the start of Stage 1.
Kicking off the fourth stop of the Rally America National Championship Series.
You can see just how tight these roads are, really technical and twisty. Just listen to that. You can hear Adam's anti-lag chirping there, keeping his turbo spooled so he has the power right when he needs it.
After the first three stages of the event, David Higgins is out in front by 1 minute and 31 seconds over Adam Yeoman. Sitting in third is George Plasek, followed by Andrew Comrie-Picard and Evan Klein.
More rally action when we come back on NBCSN.
The Rally America National Championship is brought to you by Subaru, by Ford, Go Further, by Honda Performance, and by GoPro, Be a Hero. Welcome back to the Susquehannock Trail Performance Rally, the fourth round of the Rally America National Championship. After 3 stages, the event moves to the Tioga County Fairgrounds for 2 short spectator stages called Super Special stages.
While almost all events have super specials, STPR's is unique in that the cars are run 2 at a time, wheel to wheel. Cars will launch together and then split off and do one of 2 routes around the track, switching to the other route after the first pass. On the second pass, the cars race down the straightaway into a hairpin turn, then back down the straightaway to the finish line in front of the crowd.
As day one wraps up at the Tioga County Fairgrounds in front of thousands of fans, the drivers look forward to tomorrow when they continue to battle it out for the title.
You can see it's getting pretty dusty here. With the daylight fleeting, the dust could cause some serious issues. Let's go to AJ to check in with some of the drivers.
So, Rob, what's the strategy for the super special stages?
Well, it's getting a little later, it's getting darker, and the wind is slowing down a little bit, so the dust is getting thicker. So the strategy may be just leave your regular lights on, just catch the edges of the roads, and stay super clean.
We're here with Rob, one of the stewards of STPR. You have called the race in a sense, so tell us what is going on.
Well, we're just saying that for this stage, we're going to call the race and not consider it timed, but for the fun and for the competitors and for the people on the stands, obviously, we want to see a good show. So we're going to let them actually race and show off, but not be timed.
What are you looking forward to about the stage?
Well, you know what? The pressure's off, which is nice. It was pretty dusty out there, so I was getting a little nervous because you really can't see anything. So we're just going to get out, have fun, put on a show, which means you get to get a little more sideways.
You going to show us anything special?
No, definitely not. It's a good shakedown for us, but it's a bit unfortunate, really, with us trying to catch up. It's not a lot of mileage, but any little bit of mileage helps.
Still looking forward to having some fun?
Yeah, it's a great thing for the fans, so it'll be good to get out there and do a little bit of a show. It's tough with the dust and it's dangerous out there, so it's probably the best thing to do.
These super special stages are really for the fans who come from all over to see the cars up close.
Yeah, we owe it to the spectators to go out and do what we normally do. They've been here waiting a long time, so we've got to go out there and do something for them. If they can see us, it's a different story, but at least we'll try and do something.
Since the two super special stages have been canceled from a scoring standpoint, the standings are as they were after the first three stages. David Higgins is in the lead by 1 minute and 31 seconds, followed by Adam Yeoman, George Plasek, Andrew Comrie-Picard, and Evan Klein. Stay tuned. When we return, more rally action. Welcome back to STPR, where it is now the beginning of the second day of competition. Let's go out to AJ at Park Expose and hear from some of the drivers.
So, Adam, you are sitting pretty in second. Are you kind of waiting for David to mess up and just hold on to that position?
Yeah, you know, David's a lot faster than us, and so we can't really catch him, but he's always had kind of bad luck here, and so if it strikes again, we'll be right there to pounce.
Nick, the second day of STPR, what are you looking forward to?
Today's going to be a really fun day.
I feel a little bit more confident. We made some changes on the springs, so I feel a little bit more confident on those. We fixed the rear control arm that I bent yesterday off the jump. So it's going to be flat-out fun. We've got a really tight battle in SP. I mean, I think we're only, well, at least the top 4 in SP are about 30 seconds apart. So it's just going to be a fun battle all day to see what we can do and how many positions we can reel in. So I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
So, Dylan, the SP battle is raring to go. Day 2. What's your strategy?
Go fast. We got a lot of time to make up. Luckily, there's still quite a bit of miles left, so I think we can do it. We can't slack off at any point, so it's going to be full charge today and see what we can make happen.
Checking in with ACP, you're 18 seconds out of third, a lot of cars behind you. What's the strategy?
Well, actually, we're really surprised. You know, two-wheel drive car to be just off the edge of the podium right now, 17.5 seconds behind George Plasek, who's doing a great race. We're going to try to creep onto the podium, but right behind us, there's like 7 cars stacked within a minute of us, and some are right behind us. So we really can't let our guard down. We're watching our mirrors, but at the same time, it's great to have the Ford Fiesta ST so competitive in the whole field. We're leading two-wheel drive, and hopefully with the fast stages today, which really suit me and suit the car well, we'll be able to get a little higher than that, see how we can do.
So, David, start of day 2, what are you looking forward to?
It's going to be one of those days where we just got to make sure we make no mistakes and try and put a little bit more of a gap on Adam if we can on the first group of stages, and then we can try and manage that gap for the rest of the day. But you can make all the best plans in the world, and normally with the rally they all turn to complete poo very quickly. So we'll see what happens when we get going anyway.
Let's take a closer look at championship leader David Higgins.
That goes back to 1993 Peugeot Masters, so that's when we won the Welsh round of the Peugeot Championship back in my first year of rallying. All 3 of us were racing. My dad was racing, my brother, and that's my mum actually co-driving for my brother in the early days.
He has much more experience than I have at all levels of rally.
My grandparents rallied, my parents rallied, and then my brother started rallying, and I was still kart racing really. And I always wanted to rally, but it was difficult to get the budget to step up from sort of go-kart racing to rallying.
They're tough competitors. They have a very good car, a good team behind them.
Hello, mate. Enjoy that? Yeah. A few crashes?
He was one of my teachers in my early days of rally. I think within my first year, I had done a 2 or 3 day class with him.
We've had the school since 1994, but when we first came here, there was a garden shed here, and most of the driving was all just in the quarry area. But we've opened up more and more roads, and now we're in a 900-acre forest here. We've got 7 miles of classic Welsh stages, so it's a pretty neat playground. I like the outdoors thing. I like my mountain biking. I like my cycling and being outside and motorbikes, etc. And we've got it all here, so we're pretty lucky. More speed.
The children are very, very proud of their dad, and David's a very hands-on dad when he's home.
One dad, right, try again now, we're going to do it. Wait. Eyes forward, dude. Sometimes being out of the big cities helps you stay focused more for your events. When you're living in big cities, it's too easy to go out and enjoy the good life, where here our good life is training and enjoying the natural countryside, really.
In the National Forest.
Day 2 of STPR is a real fast blast through the forest. The roads wind up and down the mountains in a series of switchback and technical hairpins. Commitment is the name of the game on day 2 because 9/10 on fast stages like these will cost you the rally. But at STPR, the trees are close and ready to pull in any straight rally car. And you can see Adam Yeoman is having some trouble there with one of those hairpins. And there's Dylan Van Way pulling on the hydraulic handbrake. Great momentum through that corner. ACP told AJ that he likes these fast-flowing stages. The Fiesta has less power and demands a totally different driving style. You can see how he just bogs down coming out of those hairpins. Whoa, Nick Roberts losing control there and getting fully sideways. At well over 100 miles an hour, that was a great save. And the Forest will have to wait a little longer for a victim. The battle in SP is so close that these drivers have to give it everything. Whoa, did you see that? Nick cuts into the grass, hits a stump and nearly flips the car. That was another great save.
And more trouble with that hairpin.
These stages are fantastic to drive. You can get into a real rhythm on these roads.
After the first leg of day 2, David Higgins is still out in front and has extended his lead on Adam Yeoman to 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Still in third is George Blesek, followed by Dylan Van Way and Andrew Comrie-Picard.
Andrew's dropping back a position, but still in striking distance of the overall podium if someone has an issue. Stay tuned for more rally action from STPR when we return.
Welcome back to the Susquehannock Trail Performance Rally, where the teams have completed 8 of the 16 stages.
They're given 45 minutes to service the cars for any needed repairs, and then they head back out.
3, 2, 1, go. Late right 3 plus in long nips.
David Higgins is keeping it really clean through those turns. He looks really comfortable and is pushing enough to maintain his lead without risking too much. Wow, that was a hard hit. Something must have broken because you could see Adam turning the wheel for the corner but not getting the response. Guess the Forest finally claimed a victim, but good to see they are both okay.
That will unfortunately end the rally for the FY Racing team.
In SP continues to hot up, and both Dylan Van Way and Nick Roberts are pushing hard. With just a 13-second gap between them, there is no room for error. With Adam Yeoman now out, George Blesek moves up to second place behind David Higgins. Comrie-Picard is still out in front of the two-wheel drive battle, but Troy Miller has moved into second, only 16 seconds behind ACP. The Little Fiestas are really shining today.
Let's take a look at one of the other two-wheel drive competitors.
My name's Tracy. I'm a pro rally car driver and a driving instructor. So I got started in rally when my husband bought me a 4-day rally adventure. After the first day, he called me at the hotel and said, "Hey, how was it?" And I was like, "It was awesome." And he kind of went, "Uh-oh, she's gonna really want to go rallying now." So that's how it started. I have been rallying for 5 years. My co-driver's name is Tabitha Vlor. She's out of Michigan. This is our 3rd race together here at STPR. Being a female team, it's really good because it helps to promote women in motorsports as well. Rally people are really cool. They come by and they look at the car and they go, "Oh, wow." And then they see me get out and they go, "Wait, are you the driver?" You're the driver. I'm like, yeah, I'm the driver. And they're like, "Oh, wow, that's really cool. I didn't know there were any women rally drivers." I'm like, "Yeah, there's a few of us."
The owner of the car, her husband is from Ireland, and whenever he was asked what he drove, he said, "My R's." Instead of "my R's." It's a great Ireland accent.
I love rally just for the fact that it's always different. The stages are always different. Every race is different. Once you get into the car and get over that first set of nerves, jitters, getting on that first stage, just the fun of being on those roads and being able to make your car take the corners really tightly and maybe getting a nice handbrake around the corners and slide around the corners, and just the rush you kind of get. I like that a whole lot. The Toyota Yaris was built by Nameless Performance out in La Center, Washington. So they took the car, my husband's daily driver, stripped it down, put a roll cage in it, put their custom exhaust on it, and yeah, they did a fantastic job. It's really important to have a well-built car. It'll save your life, and we found that out today. So on stage 10 today, Randall, we rolled our car, went off the road. Don't quite know what happened, but we think the surface kind of had a lot to do with it. But we got out, got checked out, and we're okay. I got my first roll out of the way.
Yeah, it was
which
our
is
first
what
roll.
Everybody says here, like for a rally, you know, once you get your first roll out of the way, now I'm going to help you push yourself a little bit further, knowing that you do have that safety equipment in place, and it's really going to protect you really well. So they don't teach you how to roll a car in rally school, so we get to learn that out here on the stages by ourselves. Yeah.
That was a pretty brutal accident, and thankfully, with a strong car build and safety equipment, Tracy and Tabitha were able to walk away unscathed.
After the second leg of stages on day 2, David Higgins is still holding on to the lead.
Dylan Van Wey have a really impressive set of stages, able not only to keep the lead on Nick Roberts, but to move up to second overall and ahead of George Plesek.
Stay tuned for more rally action when we return. Welcome back to the Susquehannock Trail Performance Rally, where teams have completed 81 of the 119 stage miles and have come in to service the cars.
It's real tough out there because you're in the shadows so much. It's very, very hard to read where the road is and read the grip. And although it's so dry, they're so slippy this year, like way worse than I remember them being in previous years. So it's tough. It's tough for us because you want to go fast and you want to go flat out, but you just second guess yourself every now and again, and it makes it pretty hard. So it's certainly a tough rally and still a lot more to go. These next 3 stages are going to be really, really difficult.
The current standings, I have no idea where we're at. It's very close. It's been close all day. We were in second, I think probably 10 seconds or so behind Dylan. Dylan's been putting up some really good stage times, but it's been a fun battle. And depending on how much that gap is, we just might be settling in for where we're at for the day. So I think we'll, once I get the actual times, we'll know for sure.
We've made up a bunch of time today. We set out this morning with the mission and just been on a charge all day. It's worked out pretty good, and we're leading SP in second overall by 2 seconds. So still no backing down at this point. We got a good fight to get a good overall podium, and there's still enough miles for things to go wrong. Unfortunately, FY Adam Yeoman found out the hard way that, you know, even though it's looking good, it's not over till it's over. So
we had a really tough afternoon in the Ford Fiesta ST. We were in 4th place, 5th place overall, and FY Racing just went out. They crashed, unfortunately, but that would have bumped us up one more. However, we blew off a turbo hose on the first of 3 long, difficult, fast stages, which means we were down at around like 90 horsepower with a normally aspirated engine. So I drove as fast as I could with all the hamsters pedaling, but we've lost minutes now. So unfortunately, what was turning into a really, really good rally for us is now a very difficult rally. We will now work as hard as we can to make sure we win 2-wheel drive. We're probably in 2nd or almost down to 3rd in 2-wheel drive. So now it's flat out for 34 miles to the finish to get as high as we can again.
David Higgins has a very comfortable lead and is running less than flat out. He doesn't want to make a silly mistake or pick up a puncture when he has the win in his grasp. The opposite is true for Dylan Van Wey. He and Nick Roberts are in a titanic battle, and he has to push every last ounce of pace from the car, his co-driver and himself. Nick is chasing Dylan hard. He can see his dust, and he knows he is just up in front of him. But as we have seen, pushing too hard can have dire consequences. George Plesac continues to have a really strong rally. And Evan Klein is ready to pick up the pieces if something goes awry in the Van Wey-Roberts battle. ACP is giving it everything to make up time and points after the earlier turbo hose issue, but he continues to trail Troy Miller in another Fiesta.
With only 2 stages left, David Higgins and Craig Drew of Subaru Rally Team USA sit safely in 1st place. George Plesac has reclaimed 2nd place with Dylan Van Wey back in 3rd, and Nick Roberts just under 30 seconds behind him in 4th. Let's go to ACP for the tech overview.
One of the best ways to go faster in rallying is to be able to go slow really well, and that's having great brakes. There's a bunch of challenges with brakes with rally cars. Let's take a look at that. The first thing to understand is rally tires and wheels. The big thing is all good rally tires are 15 inches in size. That's because we want to have a high sidewall profile to take up the impact of the rock, so all the best tires are made in 15 inch. That's a smaller braking package than a lot of street cars have, including street Evos and STIs. So any of those cars that run here have to put on a smaller set of brakes than they run on the road. You might hear in Ferraris and high-performance cars, you get 14-inch brakes, even 15-inch brakes now. You just cannot have that kind of brake on a rally car because you got to fit it inside this wheel. Let's see how we make that work. The most important brakes on any car are the front brakes, because when you brake, you actually get a lot of front weight distribution. Weight moves to the front of the car, so we always have the biggest brakes on the front of a car. This is the biggest possible package that's going to fit inside this wheel, and you can see, as I put the wheel on, I can't even get part of a finger between the caliper and the wheel. So this is the maximum size that I can get in here. Now, we not only need to be able to have great braking power, but we need to be able to control where that power is distributed, how it's given to the front and rear braking systems of the car. So what we do is plumb the hydraulic systems for the front of the car and the rear of the car separately on 2 separate master brake cylinders. It's a little different than your street car. And then what we do is have a knob here that controls rear and front braking. So if you ever see somebody adjusting one of these in a stage, you can control how much braking force goes to the rear, how much braking force goes to the front, so that when you're on the brakes, that controls how the car rotates in the corner. If you put more braking power to the rear, the car rotates faster. If you put more braking power to the front, you're more likely to understeer. Now, there's another factor to that. On the the rear braking circuit, a lot of us in the top cars have hydraulic handbrake. This allows you to use this handle and modulate it to control how much braking power is going to the rear. That allows you to go around those hairpins, pull the handbrake, swing around the hairpin. One of the coolest features of a rally car, but absolutely necessary for rallying on a rally like STPR.
Stay tuned. You don't want to miss the action coming up when we return. The Rally America National Championship is brought to you by Subaru, by Ford, Go Further, by Honda Performance, and by GoPro. Welcome back to Rally America's STPR.
Rally racing brings out all types of cars and competitors. Let's take a look at one of the more unique cars we found here at STPR.
My name is Gary DeMasi, and I'm a semi-retired automotive technician. I've been involved in rally racing since 2004. One cool thing about rally is I really appreciate the endurance because I like to fix it, break it, fix it. A few years back in late 2010, I had a stroke. It was a major stroke, and I used the building of the truck and racing of the truck as therapy. By building it, it brings back the memories and the motor skills from years past. I am a truck guy. I've been driving trucks since I was small. The truck is a 1985 Generation 1 Ford Ranger. It's been modified with a 5-liter V8 Cobra motor. It has approximately 378 brake horsepower. It used to be a regular cab short bed, and I've changed it into an extended cab short bed so I can add the cage and keep some interior space. It's got a T5 Borg Warner Tremec transmission, and it's got a Mustang rear end. Rally for Fast Response. It's really Rally Fast. Rally Fast stands for face, arm, speech, and time. With stroke, if you notice it happening, you have to get help for the person that's having it. And we're using this to raise awareness. We have a Give a Buck sign the truck, which we raise money for some stroke victors. So we have plenty of names up here, even rally drivers. It's amazing how many people I inspire, and they inspire me to do this. And it's hard to believe that I actually do it because it's extreme fun. It repairs me constantly. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel blessed about being able to do it.
The teams are checking into the final service before the final 2 super special stages of the event. And it looks like Dylan Van Way has some issues. We need to go check on that car.
We made it about 3 miles from the end of the last stage there and blew the motor. We knew we were pushing and we started losing oil.
We were starting to pull a little bit of time out of him, and then he's had this all of a sudden engine issue, and it seized up on him, so we towed him in to service. And my understanding is he's got to be able to start under his own power. So if he'll line up on the start line, he'll have to push the car down there. And if he's able to push the clutch in and it rolls down the hill, he won't be able to finish the stage, so he'll get a 2-minute penalty for that. So there's a chance that we could just beat him tonight. It'll be interesting. It'll be a fun night. I'm interested to see how it all pans out.
It really should turn a lot easier than that, but you're going to try and... Nothing. Can you try flip the ratchet and see if you can go the other way with it? Because if it wasn't perfect, maybe you would see. Keep going. That was all the way around. Nice. Keep going. Nice, man. I think you start going the other way with it if you can.
Make sure to tune into the Rally America National Championship Series on NBCSN. Welcome back to the start of the super special stages here at the end of day 2. And really, over the next 2 miles, the drivers have little to gain, but a lot to lose if something goes wrong. But take a look behind me. The fans are here, so of course, they're going to put on a show.
Fans have come out for a second night to the Tioga County Fairgrounds here in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania, to see the rally cars up close as they put on a show in 2 short special stages to end the event.
The teams will race on one of 2 routes on the first lap, and then drive the other route on the second, ending in a wheel-to-wheel race right past the fans.
They'll then make this hairpin turn and head back down the straight to the finish. Dylan Van Way and co-driver Andrew Edwards have done their best to get the motor unseized and running on their own. Their service crew was not allowed to help because only the driver and co-driver are allowed to work on the car outside of designated service areas.
Running, that's good news. 28 seconds to make this happen.
All Dylan needs to do is get across the start line to not drop out of the event. That will force Nick to have a clean, fast run in order to beat him. No! Oh no, after all of that, Dylan's car has died right there as he tried to go. So after a hard battle, Nick Roberts is going to take the win.
That's the best effort we got. We had bloody knuckles and a bunch of people pushing, and that's all she wrote.
David Higgins basically out for a victory celebration lap in front of all the fans here to spectate. He just needs to finish clean and take a much-deserved first-place win here at STPR. A quick wave to the fans. And a celebratory launch to finish the event.
Yeah, no, it always seems a very long rally, this one, because we have a long day's recce, then into the rallies with the late nights each night. But, you know, it's fantastic to come here and win. The car's been absolutely 100% all weekend. Craig's done an awesome job as always, and just happy to get here, get the win. And it's always a tough one to concentrate so hard when you're not in such a big battle. Always makes it a little bit tougher. But, you know, these roads have caught a lot of people out this weekend, so it was always important just to keep pushing on at a good speed. And we feel great now. We can go to Mount Washington now with some good points and extend our lead, and it's made up for the DNF we had earlier on in 100 Acre now.
An impressive victory from David Higgins. George Plasek secures second place, with Nick Roberts taking third overall and first in super production.
Here with the dynamic duo of Nick and Rhiannon, less than a month after Oregon Trail, your car burst into flames. You find yourself at the top of the podium. How's it feel?
It's pretty incredible and surreal. I don't think words can quite describe.
Yeah, I think that my adrenaline is still pumping. My hands keep shaking. It's just amazing to think of where we were 3-4 weeks ago and to be here. We didn't even know if we'd be here, so it's just amazing. Nick drove really well. The team's done an amazing job. We're so proud of them, and we can't believe we're here. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just behind Nick in super production class is Dylan Van Way, who fought hard to the end and will still go home with critical championship points for a second place finish.
Here with Troy Miller, your first national podium in the two-wheel drive class. Hard fight to the finish. How'd it feel?
I feel so good. I can't even begin to describe it. It's such a good feeling. We were very excited.
What was the strategy there at the end?
Just keep it clean. We were going to take it easy into the super special, and then once we got there, we decided to push a little bit and ended up winning against ACP. So we were very happy with that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
An extremely excited Troy Miller takes home his first two-wheel drive win of the season, with Andrew Comrie-Picard finishing second and Panos Karpidas taking third. After 4 events, the Manufacturers' Championship has Subaru with 83 points in first place, followed by Mitsubishi with 45 points, and Ford in third with 34 points.
That wraps up a fantastic STPR here in northern Pennsylvania, and in this event, we really saw what it means to rally to the finish. I'm AJ McCord. Thanks for watching the 4th stop of the Rally American National Championship Series.